All right, so our second one is to compare rational numbers. Notice that our learning target is to compare and order rational numbers. And we've done this before with integers, and you've done this with whole numbers your whole life. So now we're going to extend that knowledge to rational numbers. And remember to pause, make sure this video makes sense. It'll be short and quick, hopefully, if I can talk well enough. And then make sure you're focusing. And if it didn't make sense, excuse me, I had pizza for lunch. Then please ask questions and make sure you do understand it, because that's your goal. If you don't understand it, it's on you to tell someone that you don't understand it, and that's how you learn, is by making the mistakes so that you correct yourself the next time. If you did everything perfectly the first time, you would never remember to do anything right, because you wouldn't know what to correct. If you know something you have to correct, that's awesome. That means you're going to fix it next time, and that's our goal, is to learn. So, we'll minimize that. On to our next notes page. All right. There is our title. There is our learning target. All right, so I've split the rest of the paper in half. The line I used to divide it in half, I turned into a number line going from -3 to +3. We're going to use this as a manipulative just to make sure that we can tell which one is least, which one is greater. And the top half will be compare, and the bottom half will be order. So you can either rotate your paper to read that, or my board to see that, or there you go. Ignore what my parents just sent. Okay. So here are what we're going to compare. I want you to compare -1/2 with -3/4. I want you to compare 7/10 and 3/4. I want you to compare -2 and 4/10 and -2 and 2/5. I want you to compare -3 and 8/100 with -3 and 8/10. I want you to compare -6/10 and -1, 1.5 by 2/3. So pause the video, see if you can figure out which symbol do you put in. Do you put the less than symbol? Do you put the greater than symbol, or do you put the equal to symbol? So pause the video, see if you can figure it out, then we'll come back and do it together. Okay, so you've tried, now let's see if you got it. So -1/2, think about where that would go on a number line. That's why last lesson we went over plotting it. So -1/2 and -3/4. Okay, so the -1/2 is farther on the right-hand side, which means it's greater. So I'm going to put the greater than symbol. 7/10 is right around here. 3/4 is really close to it. If you know what 3/4 is in money, notice that 3/4 is 75 cents. So which one's greater? 70 cents or 75 cents? 75 cents. So it'll be a less than sign. -2 and 4/10, which is down here. Notice when I write -2 and 4/10, 4/10 can be simplified into what? You got it, 2/5. So what symbol goes in between? Equal to. All right, and then up here, -3 and 8/100. So this is 8/100. This is 8/10. Now you would think if there were no negative signs, this would be larger, but watch out where they are on the number line. 3 and 8/100 is here, 3 and 8/10 is here. So this one is actually larger because it's the smaller, it's the closer one to 0, okay? This absolute value has a shorter distance to 0, so it's actually greater. Okay, -6/10, so around here, -1, -6/10 wins. 1.5 to 2/3, so 1.5 is greater. All right, which one stumped you? My guess, this one really stumped you. Go back and try it again. If you want to challenge one, what if we had done -4.5 and -5? Which one is greater? Which one is smaller? Realizing that they are negative numbers, you should end up with negative 4.5 is greater, is closer to 0. All right. So, ordering, we have 2 questions left. Woohoo! I'm going to pause the video. All right, these are our last 2 questions. I want you to order them from least to greatest. From least to greatest. So pause the video, see if you can do the first one on your own, and then we'll go over it, and then pause the video and try to do the second one on your own. Okay, so hopefully you're back. Hopefully you've tried it. And let's see, we're gonna go from least to greatest. So I want the farthest left number. So positive numbers are out. They are not the farthest left. So I'm looking at just my 3 negatives. Negative 3/4 is up here. Negative 2s are all down here. So I'm looking at just these 2. Which one is smaller? Which one's farther from 0? Negative 2 and 4/10 is the farthest from 0. Okay, so that one's done, which means this one's my next one, because it was the second that I had in running, which then means my other negative, my last negative, comes next. Okay, my negatives are done and taken care of. Stop here if those stumped you. Why did they stump you? Where should you focus? What stumped you on it? Or ask a neighbor how did they make sense of it? Okay, next, my last 2, 1 whole comes next, and then 2 wholes comes after that. All right, you should have this as your least to greatest sorting. Pause here, try number 2 on your own. Notice I'm doing check marks as I'm going to make sure that I'm getting them all and I'm not forgetting something. Also notice, even if you switch this into 1.25, you're welcome to change the format from fractions to decimals, decimals to fractions. But notice that I write it in the original format. I'm not writing 1 and 25/100ths in here. I'm writing the 1 1/4. All right, so on to number 2. Again, negatives go first, so it's one of these. So not even a whole or past negative 2 wholes. So negative 2 wholes is farther left. So negative 2 and 2/5. Check. My last negative, 6/10. Check. Okay. Now I have these 3 positives. Notice that this one doesn't have any whole numbers next to it. This one has 1 whole next to it, and this has 3 wholes next to it. So they're already in order. Ha ha, ha ha. And we're done! Woo! Which ones stumped you? Which ones didn't stump you? Which ones are you a boss at that you're just like, yes, I got this, I could teach somebody else, and go help somebody. If someone's stuck, please help them. All right, and PowerPoint. There we go. Did you focus? Did you have many distractions? What can help you next time? Were you pausing the video? I was pausing the video to make it this short, so I hope that you were pausing at the same time as well. Did you make mistakes? Are you going to remember what mistake you did and learn from it next time? I sure hope so. All right. Have a great day. Bye.